I found the hottest zip codes in and around Raleigh, North Carolina. But there is one zip code in particular that is set to skyrocket in value, and you won't want to miss out on that one. Just about every other area in Raleigh is about 450,000 plus in price point. But the one that is set to skyrocket is in the 350,000 price point as of July of 2024. So be sure to stick around so you know exactly what zip code I'm talking about, because I truly indeed believe that there is opportunity in every single real estate market. It's just a matter of finding it, and this is why it's important for you to have a great partner by your side, because you may miss out on opportunities like these, especially when Raleigh is in that growth phase. You can capitalize on some of the opportunities that is presented. So without saying much more, let's go ahead and check out those zip codes that I'm talking about. And the very first zip code that we have on today's list is 27587, and that is Wake Forest, North Carolina. This is not in Raleigh just quite yet. We're going to have a few other zip codes that we'll discuss, specifically Raleigh. So if you really look at the map here, if you are looking at the area and just kind of want to see what other options that you currently have, you have Wake Forest as an option. Again, it's a little bit north of Raleigh, so you're looking at about a 30 to 40, I wouldn't say 45 minutes. That's unless if traffic is involved, then I can see 45 minutes. But you're really looking at a 30-minute drive, and this is the area in particularly that it is covering. Now, I wanted to take it a step further for you guys, so make sure you guys are looking at these zip codes, and as well as to see what is really going on in there, because I want to be able to share with you guys some of the amenities that is involved in this entire area. So I put together this for you guys specifically. So I know you guys love master plan communities and you guys want to know where they all are. So this is a great map to show you guys kind of where they all are in retrospect to that zip code specifically. So we were again in this area. Maybe not every single one that you see on this list is going to be smack dead in the 27587, but it's giving you a ballpark idea. So if this is something that you want more information on, you always know that you guys can for sure reach out to me. But let's go ahead and move on to the next zip code here, which we have. Let me pull it up for you guys. It'll be much easier if I just do this. And it's Fuquay Varina. So now we're looking south of Raleigh, right? So Fuquay Varina, 27526. That's the next zip code that was, again, these are the hottest zip codes that's really being said right now. At least that's based off of the activity that's been going on. And you can see South Raleigh. So here again, not in Raleigh particularly, but if you were to travel here, you're looking at about 30 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and just so you guys can see. All right, so you're looking at about 30 to 45 minutes, let's just say, of a travel time between that Raleigh and that area. So this is a great place to be if, maybe you need to be in Raleigh, you just don't want to be that close to it. Maybe you want to be close to Research Triangle Park, or maybe you want to be close to the airport, which is in this area over here, right there. So something to look at, and again, I won't let you guys down so you guys know. All right, if you guys are looking for a master plan community in specific, let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So take a look at the outline just to give yourself an idea. And then we can go take a look at the amenities and see where is the master plan communities over there. So they have some, not as many as Wake Forest has, as you guys can see. And again, this is Fuquay Varina specifically is more of a developing area. So I don't expect much master plans communities to be there now, maybe in the future, especially if they decide to start doing a lot of new constructions, but you won't have too many options in terms of master plan communities. And something that I forgot to almost mention to you guys, so how are these zip codes essentially curated and identified if, are these truly indeed the best? Well, first off, we looked at to see the total listings. So how many listings were there? We looked to see how many of those listings actually sold at asking price, or did they go over asking price? And then we also looked at the days on market. So we wanted to see, are these homes in these specific areas getting on and off the market relatively quickly, or are they taking a long time? And every single one on this list came off the market really quickly. But let's go ahead and finish up and find out what other zip codes are there that you can keep your eyes on. Now we're going to take a trip to Raleigh just so you guys can see there are some zip codes in Raleigh that is on this list, and honestly there aren't too many. This list isn't in particular order. I probably could have ranked it from probably the best performing to the worst, but I didn't. I just wanted to provide you guys with the zip codes. So this is a zip code 27610 in that Raleigh, North Carolina area. And I won't touch upon this too much specifically for a good reason that you're going to want to stick around to later. But just identify where it's located, and I'll give you guys, again, the amenities so you guys can see. We're really looking at this area. Again, not an area, let me zoom in so you guys can kind of focus in on it. Not an area that's going to provide you with too much master plan communities there specifically. So something to keep in mind. Keep in mind, and it is important that you do keep it in mind because it is a big piece in this entire video in itself. I just gave away a lot, but it's all right. 27502 is the next zip code on that list. So we took a nice little trip to Apex, North Carolina, and you guys, at least if you've been doing your research, you've been looking into the area, or you're just curious, you should know about Apex already. So Apex is a well-known developed. It's actually called the Peak of Good Living. There it is. I almost forgot it. So that's one of these zip codes here. And the reason why I say you guys should know about it is because a lot of you guys reach out to me and it's like, hey, you want to move to that area, and the first thing I always hear is Cary, Apex. Always, I always hear those two names. It's because those are, that's essentially what's advertised everywhere. But I don't want you guys to forget there are a lot of other areas that I'm going to discuss outside of that Raleigh area that could be just as great as a good fit as Apex or Cary. You just don't know about it, and that's okay. The media doesn't do a good job of covering the entire area. But here's Apex for you guys, and I'll go ahead and show you guys amenities. And one thing I would definitely say is don't expect a lot of amenities on this side. So the side that you guys really want to move to, the Cary Apex side, doesn't really have too many master plan communities. I will share with you guys that it does have, you'll see golf communities, probably more in this area in particular than master plan communities. And when I say master plan communities, I'm talking about pools, tennis, maybe basketball. Like it's a lot more than just a subdivision where you're going to live. But let's go ahead and go to the next one on the list, which we're going to go ahead and travel to Holly Springs. This is also an area I covered. So a lot of these areas I've covered, I've showed you guys in videos, I've talked about it. So if you're finding out about these areas now, maybe this is the best time that you can go ahead and take a look at, what else I have in terms of videos that you guys can take a look at to get a little bit more of an understanding of what's going on in this area and what areas may be a good fit for you. But here we're in Holly Springs with 27540, Holly Springs. You guys can see that there. Honestly, this is, I don't know how this gets slept on a lot, because this is an area that out of your Cary, Apex, Mooresville, like this is literally the next one in line. I don't hear about Holly Springs enough from individuals, and I don't know why I don't, but let's just say Holly Springs is up and coming. If not, it's directly behind Cary, Apex, and Mooresville, and I could honestly see the way that it's going. It may even surpass it at some point in time. Who knows? But let's go ahead and check out the amenities. And you'll have a good amount of master plan communities here. Golf club communities as well. So you'll have a mixture of it. And as I mentioned, this is an area that's relatively new. You're not going to have, it's not going to be outdated. It's not going to be old homes yes, you may have some older homes, but it's not going to be old to the point where you're going to be worrisome of dealing with a home that's, 50 years old or something like that. Like this is a fairly new, well-developed area. And as I'm continuously to record this video, I'm starting to realize I'm saying a lot of different areas and zip codes that you guys probably have no idea about. But the goal of this video is really to help you identify and focus on certain areas. Maybe you do want to park your money somewhere, or maybe you are looking for a better opportunity investment, whatever the case may be. This video is there to help you guys really understand what zip codes that you guys should focus in on, so that you're not wasting your time or getting distracted by looking at other areas that just may not be fulfilling to you. So let's just say you're looking at the money aspect, great. But if you still want to move to a great area, place that is fulfilling to you, yourself, your family, whoever else is tagging along, and you do have additional questions, go ahead. You see that number, you see that email, go ahead and set up a consultation so we can discuss and find that area that may be best for you. But let's go ahead and find out what other zip codes are on this list. But you can't forget also, we have to find out which one is the top zip code in that Raleigh area. All right, so now let's go ahead and find out the next one. So we're going back to Raleigh for this one, and it's 27603. So this one I want to just mention to you guys because it could get quite tricky when looking at this zip code specifically. You guys see how it starts all the way. This is literally downtown Raleigh. It starts in downtown Raleigh, and it makes its way all the way down to here, which honestly, you're surpassed Gardner. You're practically near Fuquay Arena. Honestly, Willow Springs is there. So this is an area I don't want you guys to get caught up in because you can think that you're going to be, very close to downtown Raleigh, when in fact you're down here and you're easily 30 minutes away. So really keep in mind, understand that if you are looking in this zip code of any opportunities for yourself, whoever, make sure that you are identifying the distance between wherever you are in downtown Raleigh, because this zip code here tricks a lot of people up. Yes, you're in Raleigh, but you don't get the same amenities. I'll tell you right now. Here, if you're down here, you don't get the same amenities as somebody that's sitting right here in North Hills, or better yet, Bright Creek, or better yet, North Raleigh, right? Or even the zip code that I mentioned over here, which was 27610. So just keep that in mind. I'll go ahead and show you guys some of the amenities, and you could see you'll have some, right? But again, I think it's truly indeed important that you guys understand, if you are looking in that 27603, where you are located in that zip code, it is definitely way more important than anything. So we're going to take a trip now to a whole nother area. I'm sorry if I'm mentioning these new areas and you're like, Ronnie, I'd never heard of this place before, and that's okay. This is where you learn a little bit more about what's going on in Raleigh. So we have Wendell, North Carolina, and we're sitting at 27591. This area in particular, Wendell and Zebulon, honestly, are being developed, right? So when I say develop, you're going to have a lot of new constructions going on there. So I don't really want to say too much there because it's like it's going to be relatively newer construction. But this is where a lot of new construction is gravitating to at this current moment. In fact, let me go ahead and see if I can pull up the new construction map for you guys so that you guys can see what exactly I am talking about. Because I'm not going to just share with you guys what I think is going on. I'm going to show you guys what is actually going on, just so you guys can see for yourself and make your judgments. So what I'm doing here is essentially just pulling up a map to show you guys where a lot of new construction, a lot of development is going on in that area, particularly in Raleigh. So we were looking at that Wendell area. So Wendell being over here, you could see a lot is going on over there. I mean, this entire area, there's a lot going on in general. But over here, for sure, you're going to have a lot. You could kind of see, even when we looked at Fuquay Arena, you have 67 developing communities going on right now. 67, I should say, really homes, because there aren't communities in itself. It could be 67 homes just in that area in itself. So you guys could really see, all right, they've pushed out a lot of new construction to happen outside of that 540 belt line. You'll still have some opportunities in there, but I mean, if you go in here, you're paying a nice pretty ticket. I'll tell you that. Nice pretty ticket. You might have a townhome in there, and it's like I said, a pretty ticket. But there's that. If you guys want any additional information on new construction, you guys can always reach out to me on that aspect, and I'll be more than happy to share what information and help you guide and assist you through that journey of new construction. But let's go ahead and go back to Raleigh, and we're in 27615. So this is another area that a lot of people love because you're in that North Raleigh area. In fact, it's close to North Hills, which you'll hear also a lot of people say, like, that's where they go to have a good time. And that good time can mean whatever you want, whatever you desire as a good time. But this is a well-developed area. You're going to have a great time there. Let's go ahead and go take a look at I'm losing it now. I don't need this anymore. Let's go take a look to see. So barely any master plan communities, right? Golf clubs community definitely do exist in this area. So in this map particularly, I don't have the golf club communities already identified. So if you are in particular, you want to know where they all are, just reach out to me, let me know. But no master plan communities whatsoever. However, I will say this is an area that does have tennis courts, to say the least. Yeah, there's some in there. There's just not that many. I'll say it like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Your guys' favorite place of all. We have Cary, North Carolina. I mean, do I really need to say anything about this area? I mean, you guys already know what's going on there. And if you don't know, this is the best time for you to go check out another video that I've done about Cary to really see what's Cary actually doing for you and how is it that it could be fulfilling to you. But I mean, I'm not going to spend time just talking about Cary just because I know you guys know. And if you don't, go check it out. And so here are some of the master plan communities that they do have. Again, another area that's going to have, golf club communities that's going to have the whole nine in there. Preston is one of them. Preston is, man, let's just say it's a pretty ticket to be in Preston, but a lot of people love that area. I mean, I could understand why. Let's just leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it that way. Had to take that drink there. Sorry about that. So we're going to make our way back to Raleigh. And again, we're sitting in another North Raleigh area. So this really where we were in that 615. That's really North Raleigh, but this is just extremely close to it. So we just consider really all this area really North Raleigh. This is in fact really close to Briar Creek, also the airport. So if you're looking to be relatively close to those two things, then that's definitely a good thing. And not only that, but you have Research Triangle Park as well. So essentially just taking 540 right over there, you'll get there in about 15 minutes or so. Being in this, it depends on where exactly you are in this area, but if you're up here, of course, add a little bit more time on that travel. But there is that zip code for you, 27613. And don't forget, guys, these are all zip codes that have great activity going on right now. All right, so these are areas that essentially other buyers love for whatever reason, but their eyes is there for a particular reason. It could be price, it could be exactly what the home is like, it could just be the location of it. So there's many different variables and factors that a buyer may purchase in a specific area, but these are all just ideas. And so if you go ahead and take a look, you don't have too many of master plan communities, but you have some in that area, which is not too bad. So we've touched upon all the areas that have essentially all the zip codes that are doing great in terms of real estate activity and where our buyer is really looking. Now it's time for us to really figure out which one of those is the top one in Raleigh, North Carolina. So taking a look at all the zip codes in Raleigh, North Carolina, which one do you think is the top zip code that had the most activity and where a lot of people are gravitating towards? Because if you said 27610, you hit the nail on the target. Yes, this is a zip code that a lot of individuals are relocating to. And honestly, personally speaking, I think a lot of individuals are relocating here, not only because there's a ton of new construction going on over here, but also because this is honestly the last area to really get well developed in Raleigh. I mean, you're still going to have opportunities here, but you're still also going to have the affordability just not catch up to what's going on in every single one of these areas. I mean, if you look outside of just this area in itself, I mean, you can look at about 350, right? 350K. But you go outside of this area, oh man, you're easily in the 4s to 450s without a doubt. I mean, despite what you are looking at. So this is, I think, a big reason why this zip code in specific that has had a lot of activity is just because, again, when certain individuals are looking at a specific price point, this is the area that's going to populate and at least gravitate a lot of individuals too. If for some reason you're still confused as far as why are individuals even still looking at Raleigh, North Carolina as a relocation destination, this is a great time to go ahead and check out my previous video that I did, which I honestly gave you guys a real review. It's like one of my pros and cons of it all, of what's going on in Raleigh, you know, the good things, the bad things, and the ugly things that you guys all can keep on your alert to understand, you know, if this is even a place for you. Because if it is, I mean, this is the perfect time now to take advantage of some opportunities that are presenting itself right now and to own a piece of the land of the free, right? But if none of these zip codes on today's list stood out to you and made you want to look into it even bit more, in fact, maybe you have your own zip code that you're looking at right now and you need to know or you want to know what's going on, the trends wise, or even real estate data, just reach out to me. Let's have that discussion to see if this is something that we can create a plan to get you to North Carolina. But with all that being said, my name is Roney and I am a licensed realtor here in North Carolina and love nothing more but the ability and opportunity to be able to assist you with your relocation needs. So you see that number, you see that email that is popping up right there. Be sure to reach out to me and let's set up a consultation to be able to discuss what you're trying to do and let's help you accomplish your goals.